What up, Huck Squad? A little bit over a week ago, I posted on my Facebook page asking my friends what their favorite thing about disc golf was, and I was just completely blown away with some of the responses. So in today's video, I am going to be just kind of highlighting some of the responses that we got there. Obviously, you can see that there was over 160 individual responses, so we won't be highlighting every single response. But if you do want to catch up on the entire post, you can go over to my Facebook page and just read through all the comments. It's honestly just a really wholesome read and just really uplifting, just to see what everyone's favorite thing about disc golf is, and it's just really positive and it's a really cool thread. So if you want to check that out, head over to my Facebook to see every single answer. But I'll be highlighting about 25 to 30 different answers in this video, and we'll be talking about them overlaid over one of my old videos, which was actually posted a year ago today, which is kind of crazy to me. That is the slow motion video that I filmed at Borderland last year, right around this time, obviously if it was posted a year ago today. And it's just a really cool video, and it'll be a cool video to have in the background while we talk over some of these answers. So let's get right into it. So starting off with Viggy, he says, next to aces, smashing long jump putts is a heavy favorite. And I love Viggy. I've actually witnessed him throw an ace at Page Park, which was really cool. And he smashes some really long jump putts, and I could see why that would be one of his favorite things.
Oh! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Dude.
Ryan says, being out in nature, walking the course, and soaking in the views around. And that's one of my favorite things too. I love how disc golf brings you to different areas of different states, and it brings you into all different types of terrains, into the woods, into the open field, into elevation. It really it brings you throughout nature, exactly how you said. So I really appreciate how that is also one of your favorite parts of disc golf. Davey says, I've fallen in love with disc golf because it's so versatile in what it can do for me. If I want social interaction, boom. Need alone time? Disc golf again. Want to get competitive? Disc golf. Want to just chill with the homies carefree? Disc golf. So many aspects you can make the sport your own. And that is just so true. He couldn't have said it any better there. There are so many different ways that you can use disc golf. Sometimes you want to go out and play with a big group. Sometimes you're just feeling like you just want to get some alone time and you want to get out into nature and throw some plastic. So like he said, disc golf is super versatile, and it can work with anyone's schedule and with anyone's personality or whatever mood you're in. So that's a great takeaway, Davey. I like that one. Riva says, hosting tourneys, being outdoors, the community, and of course helping promote the sport. Rivas is honestly one of the best ambassadors of the sport that we can have in our area. He's also a fellow Discmania ambassador of mine, and he does so much great content on Instagram. Just started posting more content on YouTube, and really is just one of the hardest working dudes in our community. Like he said, helps host a couple tournaments every year. TD is a tournament, co-TD's tournaments whenever anyone needs help. He's a really big part of our community, so thanks for everything that you do around here, Rivas. Brittany says, getting outside, making new friends, and the sense of accomplishment when I can keep up / throw a great shot. And I agree on all three fronts there. Getting outside is one of the best parts about disc golf. Gets you outside, keeps you active. Making new friends. I've met so many good friends in the disc golf community over the past 5 years since really getting involved in the Borderland community. And the sense of accomplishment when you can keep up or throw a great shot. When you're on a card and everyone's throwing great shots, there's nothing better than being the fourth person on the card and hitting that line after everyone else hit it. So I totally agree. Throwing a great shot or keeping up with the card is just a really good thing. And as a female, you are one of the best females in our area, so keep it up. Mark says, honestly, creating and documenting with my guy. Mark, we've made so much cool content over the past, 2 or 3 years, however long it's been, and I can't wait to keep creating content and moving forward. And the dual camera episodes just add another level of production to this vlog, so I appreciate all the hard work that you've done and putting yourself in position to get a nice camera and come out and film with us, or with me rather. It's been really awesome, and I don't want to take it for granted, so thank you so much for everything you've done for the channel over the years. Cameron says, getting to understand and observe how each disc flies differently and how to use different discs at different times. It is absolutely mesmerizing to watch a disc flex and lay out its full flight. And that is honestly one of my favorite parts about disc golf. It is what keeps me coming back. It is what keeps me throwing the shots that I want to throw. It's just so awesome. It's a beautiful sight. Seeing it flex, seeing overstable discs do that full S curve, like you said, lay out and get the full flight. So seeing the disc fly is honestly one of my favorite parts of this of the sport as well. So I really appreciate that takeaway, Cameron. Nate says, being active and scratching that competitive itch. And I couldn't agree more on that. It keeps you out there, it keeps you active, keeps you moving around. Once you learn how to really throw a disc, the form and everything, you actually end up using your whole body, you're using your core. A lot of people end up figuring out that they need to be more flexible to do what they want to do. So that's another thing that comes along with playing disc golf and getting better, is increasing your flexibility. So I really agree on that, being active and scratching that competitive itch. Man, I'm sure a lot of people that have played disc golf have played sports in the past, and it's really cool to play a sport that has so much non-contact. There's no contact in disc golf. You know, the worst thing that can happen really is twisting an ankle or twisting a knee if your form is wrong, or smacking your hand into a tree if you're too close to a tree, but there's no contact, there's no head injuries in disc golf. So I love being able to scratch that competitive itch without the worry of really physical injury unless some sort of accident happens. So that's a really good thing. And I think most people that have played disc golf have played a sport in the past, and it's really cool just for, you know, hand-eye coordination practice, and like you said, scratching that competitive itch, playing down to the wire, having a putt that matters on hole 18. It's so mental. So I really agree on both fronts there, Nate. Dylan posts 2 videos actually. Top video is one of him winning MVP Amside, MVP Open Amside this year, and jumping into the Maple Hill Pond, which I'll play now. And the bottom video is him throwing an insane ace on the vlog, actually like a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, at Oak Ridge, which I'll also put on the side now as well. And that ace was just unbelievable. It was probably one of the best moments on the vlog. Just his reaction, my reaction, the shot itself, it was so pure. And him winning the MVP Amside Open is just such a great accomplishment. It's something he'll never forget for the rest of his life. So those 2 memories I can totally understand are his favorite things about disc golf. So thanks for those little submissions, Dylan, aka Junior. Andrew says, teaching kids is #1 for me. Nothing better than seeing a family out on the course with no idea and showing them some tips and tricks to the game we all love so much. The best part of the game is we can go anywhere in the country and have a place to rest our head because of most of the people that we meet. And I couldn't agree more with that. I love being out there and just seeing a group of people and giving them a couple tips, and small tips can sometimes help them, like starting the lawnmower, how you really have to go from moving your arms slow to fast, or just little things like following through on your putting or stuff like that. It's great to teach new people. The other day, actually, Mahoney and I played with a new player, and it was really cool just to see its progress from the beginning of the round to the end of the round. We had him following through, reaching back a little bit further. He was getting more distance. The timing was a little bit more off, but once he gets to the field, it'll be great. It always is fun playing with new people and really just seeing them. We take it for granted sometimes. If you've been playing for years and years and years, you don't really think about it anymore as being something that's hard to do. But when you play with someone brand new, there's a really big learning curve at the beginning to really learn how to throw a disc properly with spin and with follow through and on the right angle with the right stability of a disc. So when you're out there teaching someone brand new, sometimes it can be overwhelming when you know so much and you keep throwing so much at them. So when you're teaching someone brand new, try to dumb it down a little bit, try not to overwhelm them, let them do their own little research, kind of, you know, build a connection with them so that you can keep up with them in the future. And like you said, it's a really cool thing, and that's also how you can build relationships in disc golf as well. Eric says, competition, and more specifically competition against myself and challenging myself to be better. I come from a track and field background, and I always knew personal bests in my events, so I love tracking my personal bests at courses and having a PDGA rating and figuring out beforehand what I need to do to match or exceed my rating each tournament. So I really like that takeaway, Eric, because I do the same thing too. Even before I go to I don't try to do it sometimes before I go to a course blind. A lot of the time I do it after I finish my round if I'm going to the course blind for the first time. When I go to Borderland, I have pretty much every layout's par rating ingrained into my head. So I know after I finish a round what I shot based off the rating of that round, based off what it would be in a tournament, hypothetically. And I like doing that as well. I like whenever I go to a course after I finish the round, I like comparing my score to the most recent tournament on PDGA at that course, because that will allow me to get an idea of what rated round I shot at that course, just even in a casual round. So I couldn't agree more. I really like that takeaway. I do the same thing. I love comparing my rated, even casual or tag rounds, to whatever it would have been if I was in a tournament. That's a really cool takeaway. Jimmy says, hitting a 40-footer on a perfect line that was in the whole way. And I think that kind of goes back to what Biggie said at the beginning of hitting long jump putts. And even if this wasn't a jump putt, when you have that long outside the circle putt that you step up to and you just have full confidence and you're just ready to hit it and you just see it in line the whole way and it smashes and it doesn't spit out and it's just a perfect putt, that is one of the best feelings in disc golf as well. I totally agree, Jimmy. So thank you for that little takeaway. Papa says, sharing something I love with my son and the people. And honestly, Papa is a legend in our community. He's been in the Borderland community for a super long time, and he got his son involved in disc golf when he could barely even walk. He's posted some pictures lately of his son on hole 2 Borderlands tee pad, and his son could barely even hold a disc. He was probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 years old. And now he's in his teens and he's, you know, shredding it. He's always at doubles leagues and playing really well. So it's cool to see Papa getting his son involved so early, and now, you know, so many years go by and he's still playing and the kid still loves the sport. So shout out to Jason. He's doing a real good job in progressing in disc golf and making a name for himself at the course too, because when you show up to doubles league and you get Jason as a partner, it hasn't happened to me yet, but it's always a good feeling because you know he's going to throw some good shots out there. So thanks for that takeaway, Papa. Jordan says, the fact that you can play it when you feel like being an introvert and you can play it when you feel like being an extrovert. So that kind of touches on what I said earlier as well, or what someone else said earlier, and it really depends on whatever mood you're in, and I totally agree. Sometimes I'm feeling introverted and I wake up and I'm just like, man, I would love to just go out and play a solo round right now and just have some fun and throw some discs, and couldn't agree more. And depending on whatever mood you're in, you know, disc golf is still able to offer you that comfort and that ability to get away, and just couldn't agree more on that one. So thanks for that takeaway, Jordan. I really like this answer a lot when I read this answer. The fact that for those few seconds when the disc is flying, nothing else matters. And I never really thought about it like that or really put it in those words, but it's so true. Like, as soon as that disc comes out of your hand and you're just watching it in the air, you really don't think about anything else. You're just watching the disc. And whatever problems you have in life or whatever's happening or whatever was on your mind is honestly just gone for those like 3 to 7 seconds to 10 seconds that the disc is flying through the air. So that is a really, really good answer. Honestly, just reading this voiceover is giving me goosebumps reading that answer, so I really, really appreciate that one, Tony. My dad says, watching my son's YouTube channel. I really appreciate that, Pops. I love you so much. Thank you for the support. I remember the first day that I started making vlogs back at our old house in Sherman Street. I walked right by you when you were sitting at the computer, and I think I had my tripod hanging out of my bag. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna go just like film myself so I can, you know, look at my form. I didn't even know what I was gonna do. And, you know, now 4 years later, it's turned into what it's turned into, so it's really cool to see. And I know you watch almost every single one of my videos, so I really appreciate your support. Aaron says, seeing happy families and individuals playing courses I've worked hard to build. So I'm not a course designer. I mean, maybe someday it would be really cool to help design a course. It's not really something that's in my sights as of now, but I could only imagine what it feels like to, you know, put in the years of work that it takes to put in a really good course, and all the financial efforts that goes into it, and all the physical efforts, and the blood, sweat, and tears, and, you know, everything that comes along with the property management of a course and just all that. So I could only imagine the fulfillment that you feel, you know, 5 years into running a course, or 2 or 3 years into running a course, and just seeing families and, you know, friends really enjoying the fruits of your labor. So I really like that takeaway too. Melvin says a couple things. The part that's disc golf, I don't know, man, that's a hard question. I guess bombing and seeing people's face after. And Melvin is one of my friends that throws probably further, almost as, like, probably further than any other friend that I have. I mean, he can really, really get behind a disc and just bomb that thing. So he's so true. When he bombs a disc, people's faces are usually pretty awe-stricken. So it is so much fun playing with Melvin. I can't wait to get him back on the vlog sometime soon. And I really like that takeaway, because when someone can throw really far, it really does invoke some really cool emotions in the card when you just see someone with power really ripping on a disc. So I appreciate that takeaway, Melv. Ewell says, the physical sport itself, the mental game within, the competition, and the comradeship, it's all those things in one. It's this syzygy. Nah, it's talking ish and then big putting my friends. And he is so true. He is He is one of the, biggest big putters around. He will smash a circle 2 putt and put some nerves in you when you got to hit your 20-footer, and he'll be trash talking you the whole time. Not in a mean way. He's just one of the most lighthearted trash talkers we have, and it is so much fun playing with E-Wills. I'm actually looking to have him on an episode sometime soon, which would be really cool. Big putting is a thing in disc golf. It is definitely something that happens to all of us, and you can't even lie that it's never happened to you before, so I love that takeaway, E-Wills. Thanks for that. Kissel says, making the disc do exactly what you envisioned before you let it go. And that kind of goes back to what I said on how I really appreciate the flight of a disc. And yeah, I couldn't agree more when you step up to your lie and you just know exactly what disc you want to throw on that exact line, and you envision it and you just hit that line perfectly. And whether it's a scramble shot or a drive that parks you next to the basket, your disc literally settles pretty much exactly where you wanted it to, and you just felt like you had full control over that shot. So I couldn't agree more. That's an amazing takeaway there, Kissel. Devin says, I personally love 3-putting, and that is also something that I think all of us disc golfers have experienced at one point, and you can treat it 2 ways. You can either laugh it off, or you can let it ruin the rest of your round. So usually you should just laugh it off and try to get the next one, but that is it's a funny takeaway, Devin. I like that one. Jeff says, just the fact that you can play alone or meet someone random out on the course and they become some sort of your best friend. And the way a disc flies, it's just an awesome feeling. A hyzer flip shot to the left and right in the woods, it just looks so cool to watch. And that's kind of touching on what we've also just spoken on before. And I think what I liked about this one is that he mentioned the hyzer flip shot from left to right in the woods. When you're throwing through the woods and your disc is just slicing through the trees exactly how you want it to, there's nothing like that. There's no better feeling. And some of my friends who don't play disc golf, or family members who don't play disc golf, when they see videos that I post and they see how we get the discs to fly through the trees, I think that's more impressive to them than like hitting a big putt or throwing a flex Annie shot that comes back perfectly. When they see the disc just missing trees, something that we kind of take for granted, they really are impressed by that. So I like that takeaway a lot, Jeff. Casey White actually said, imagining a perfect line in your head like a hyzer flip that turns over at 300 feet down a tunnel and then bringing that shot to life with a disc. Not everyone can get a perfect hyzer flip to turn over at 300 feet though. That is a very advanced shot, but I agree, if you envision that shot and you hit it and you bring that shot to life, it is an amazing feeling. So I really appreciate that takeaway, Casey. Greg says, feeling young and competitive again, age 57. And I really love that, man. Like, anyone, any age, all the way up to, like, you guys see that world record throw, that guy who set a record for 100 years and older distance throw. It's like 191 feet or something, and they made him throw uphill. But he smashed that thing. So no matter what age you are, disc golf can, be a getaway for you. It can be a great hobby for you. And as long as you're not, physically injured in both shoulders, you should be able to find a way to throw. Even if your primary shoulder or arm is injured, you should be able to learn how to throw with your offhand. I couldn't agree more. Feeling young and competitive again. Especially now, because the age demographic of disc golfers has been so young. A lot of these older guys are playing with a lot of young guys lately, so it'll definitely make some of these older guys feel young again. I really appreciate that takeaway, Greg. Dylan and Paul actually both said the same exact thing, and they both said bombs, and both of them throw bombs. They throw so far for these young kids. Like I just said, young kids on the scene are just making a huge explosion in disc golf and throwing so far and being so competitive and being so good at putting. And I could name 5 young kids off the top of my head right now that would beat me on any given day. So it's so cool to see the age demographic shift a little bit and continue to move down a little bit and see all this young talent come up in the game. It's really cool. And lastly, Craig says, same thing as my least favorite, the people. So I'll leave that one where it is. I don't need to elaborate on that one much more. And actually, the very last thing, Dan asked, what is my favorite thing about disc golf? And I think based off of, getting to this point of the video, you've kind of understood or heard, bits and pieces of what my favorite part of the game is. I really do appreciate the flight of the disc, the S-curve, the force flex turnover, whether it be backhand or forehand. I really do like hitting those circle 2 putts that are in right out of your hand, and you're going to hit it right when you step up. I actually really, really like throwing slow discs. I love throwing putters, and I love throwing mid-ranges. Lately I've loved throwing mid-ranges more, but I love even flicking like a harp, which I flicked for years, but now I moved into the exo hard tactic that Discmania offers, and I've really enjoyed flicking that. but I really like just throwing slow discs because the flight is so unique, it's so lofty. Usually they finish straight, they show the flaws in your technique and they show the flaws in your form, so I really do appreciate throwing slow discs. The community has been, you know, wonderful. I really appreciate the Huck Squad and everyone that's gotten behind me in this journey of making these videos and everything, so those are kind of the things that I really appreciate about disc golf. I love being able to get out on my own, do something by myself, and also have the ability to, you know, be in a group of friends and feel that group camaraderie. So there are so many things to love about disc golf, and I'm going to wrap this video up here because I could ramble on forever, and like you saw at the beginning, there was 160 comments on that original post on Facebook, so go and check that out on Facebook if you want to read up on some more people's input. There was a lot of good stuff there that I just couldn't get into this video, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I know that you guys love disc golf just as much as I do and just as much as this entire community does, so if you love disc golf, drop a like on this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. It was cool and fun to put together. I have a lot of cool stuff coming up planned for the end of the year and into 2021, so hope you guys really have been enjoying the content. I've been really enjoying working hard and putting everything out for you, so I will see you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Remember to keep eating your vegetables. Peace out.